Hello everyone, it's Margaret. Welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. In today's video, we're going to be talking about things that sold this week on eBay. So I had a really good week for me on eBay, so yay me. But I had a kind of a bumpy week last week. So I like to put it out there about my goals because every reseller is a different reseller. Everyone's got their own business model. And mine is I try to make at least $200 a week on eBay, Etsy, and the other platforms that I sell on, because by the end of the month, it'll usually average out to be between $800 and $1,000 because it's part of my income. As I like to say, it's a piece of the pie, of the Margaret income pie. What flavor would that pie be? Anyway, key lime, of course. Anyway, so this week I had a really, really good week. Last time we talked, last week, I was under my goal. So I made $188 net. So probably only about $150 last week. This week I sold, I say 10 in the title, but technically it was 11 because one of them was a duplicate item. It was the same thing. Why I felt like I needed to find duplicate for you, I don't know. But I ended up selling 11 items and made $576 gross, but with cost of goods sold and fees and everything, probably looking at more like $420, $430. I'm still pretty happy with that. And yeah, so I did have a few like cost of goods sold. What I paid for the item was a bit higher on a couple of them, so that kind of brought my net down a bit. But that's fine with me. $400 something is still good. So yeah, I am live. So hi everybody in the chat. I'm going to be coming more into the chat in a little while when we get done talking about everything. That way, if you're just here to see what sold and to hear, my thought process behind why I picked it up and why I chose the price, because I know some people are wondering about my pricing or why I price the way I do, then yeah. And I just did see a comment about the earrings in the chat. These are from one of my recent videos. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to wear them in this position, but I'm going to try. So, because they're quite large. They are quite large. Okay. Okay, so let me get started. I'm looking in the chat real quick just to make sure there's nothing I need to address before we go. I'm going to say, okay, one thing I do want to address. Every now and then we get trolls that pop into the chat, and I'm going to need your help because sometimes there's not an an admin in the chat to help. So what I want you to do is if a troll pops in, we're going to kill him with kindness. So just whatever the troll's name is, if they come along, just start saying, I love you, Fingerman123, I love you. Or what, just start saying it in the chat, and then it'll catch my attention, and I'll go like get them, and we're going to kill him with kindness. It's a lot. It's a lot nicer anyway. Okay, so let's dive into the sales. And yeah, okay, let's get started. So I did sell on eBay, Etsy, and Bonanza this week. So my yeah, every time I think I'm going to stop selling on Bonanza because I'm like, oh, then I get like a sale that's like $100 and something. All right, let's start with eBay. So first up is this Lego Doctor Who set that sold. I view Lego as like an investment. So there were some Lego sets. Let me get bigger on this one. If I had the money to spend at the time when this set came out, the Doctor Who Lego set, and I knew that it had a really big fan base, almost like a cult classic. Like everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people love Doctor Who. They've got their favorite doctors, blah, blah, blah. So I had a really strong feeling that when this one went retired, that it was going to be something people would want to collect or get or be like really bummed out that they missed it or they just, whatever the reason. So I ended up buying quite a few of these brand new, and I think they were about $60 brand new. I have to go look. And then they have finally gone retired, and the price has gone up. And I'm sure technically I was planning on waiting a lot longer before I started selling them, because the longer you wait, the higher, you know, the more scarce they become and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but welcome to the world of COVID, and a girl's got to make some money. So I started listing them. I just technically listed one, quantity, however many. And so they've been selling. So, okay, long story. But anyway, I wanted to explain my process. Now, if I find Lego at thrift stores, garage sales, estate, I buy them too if they're a good price. Definitely. Okay, so this was more of a retail arbitrage, not even on sale, gamble is how that came about. So this one sold for $120. I had them listed at about $130. I have since raised my price because they are selling. I've sold 3 or 4 of them already, maybe 4. So I've raised the price to $150 because I do end up taking best offer on a lot of them. So Fat Elvis says, I saw a Lego sale for over 1,000. Oh, 100%. My kids want the Quickie Mart from The Simpsons so bad, but that bad boy's like $800 or something insane. Like, dream on, kids. Should have bought that one new. Okay. Anyway. So this one sold for $120. That's pretty good. Next up, this is a ring that I got in probably one of my jewelry boxes or one of my jewelry unboxings. It's not a real pearl. It is, you know, just like a faux pearl bead, but it was really cool, wire wrapped. I listed it for $35. The reason, even when I looked up real pearls, when I looked up faux pearl rings, wire wrapped pearl rings, all the different things I looked up, I couldn't find one just like this. I loved the uniqueness of this, even though it was a faux pearl. I loved how, you know, it was just really cool looking. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it up. Somebody's going to love it too. It wasn't like one you could just go buy off of whatever site. So people like unique stuff. So this ring I sold for $30. I took a best offer. Pardon me. Pardon. Okay. So sold that for $30. Maybe it was like 50 cents because it probably came in a lot or something like that. And I'll be back in the chat in a second. I will definitely come back and talk. So that was my thought process and everything for that. Okay, next up, comic books. I got 9 long boxes of comics from a friend of mine who was so generous, and she just gave them to me. I offered her money. I offered, you know, do you want some of the profits? No, you just take them. So I did. And it's definitely been a learning process going through all these comics, because out of the 9 long boxes, there were probably 3 to 4, about less than half of them were something that I'm like, okay, I can list this, or I can lot this up, or something like that. Probably I could have lotted up more random ones, but I didn't. So yeah, I don't know very much about comics other than you just have to look them up, and then condition is huge, but I don't grade them. So if you're not a professional, like know how to grade the comics, then don't put a grade on them. I've had people send me messages that want to buy the comics and say, can you give me an approximate grade? I'm like, I absolutely cannot, because I have no idea. It looks good to me though. I give it a thumbs up. So anyway, oh, Heather, I'll come back to the questions. I'm trying to stay focused. Okay, I see your question. I'm going to come back to that. So moving on. Oh, I didn't tell you what it sold for. This one sold for $12, and I did take an offer on this. I had it up for $15, took an offer for $12. And for me, I was cool with that because it's all profit. Now, some of my higher ticket item ones, I don't go down that much. I have a few that are up a little bit more. This barn purse, I just fell in love with that. I got it at, I believe, an estate sale. I spent $10 on this cool decoupage barn purse, and I have had it for a while, but I had a feeling like I could get a good profit on this purse, and so I paid $10 for it. So, and you know, that's a lot for me. Then I ended up selling it for $40. I took a best offer. I had it up for $50. I probably could have gotten $50 if I waited longer, but definitely was happy to sell it for $40. So that's still a really good profit. Okay. I feel like okay, I'm telling you what how I priced it. I mean, my pricing on this one, when I was looking at these kind of purses, they're like, I guess you would get the kit. This is whenever I first got it. This is what I was being told from friends of the channel. You know, you would get this kit and then you would kind of paint it and decoupage it on your own. I believe that's how it worked. And so none of them quite looked the same. Yeah. So there we go. And so you could sell it for whatever, you know, because none of them are exactly the same. Just look at that horse. When is the horse in the hayloft? That's what I want to know. Good luck. Good luck getting him down. Anyway, that's fun. So it was cute. That was a good sale. Then next up is this. Oh, people are talking about the pearl thing. I'll come talk to y'all in the chat about that in a second. I know what you're talking about. Okay, so this bracelet is a mixed metal bangle. It's wide. It's got this, and oh, now I can't think of the word. It starts with a D. It's like embossed but backwards. Oh my gosh, what's the word for that? I keep thinking intaglio, but that's not right because that has to do with cameos and carving. I am thinking of the word. I can't think of it. Okay, so anyway, I like selling things that are mixed metal. And so this had, you know, the silver, the copper, the brass. It's definitely got it all going on. I listed it for 35 bucks and I took an offer of 25 on this. Probably paid about $1. Again, it was probably in one of the lots that I picked up. Yeah, repoussé, that's it. Thank you so much, style statement. Repoussé. Repoussé is like when it's engraved, not engraved, but like the design is pressed up from the back side of the metal instead of pressed down. Anyway, next is, okay, and again, same thing with the comic books. Do you have a question, honey? No? Okay. Same deal with the comic books. This was in the comic lot. This is the Infinity Gauntlet. And I had it listed for 25 bucks, and this one ended up selling for 18. Again, I was happy to take 18. It wasn't too far off of my asking price, so I was happy to do it. Then this little Birch sold. It hasn't been up that long. I listed it pretty recently. And so this one, I had it up for $21 and it sold for the asking price of 21 bucks. So this one, the reason that I thought it would be a good seller is, one, I like things that are animals. And if you've been watching my channel forever, you're going to hear the same things, but I like things that have animals, figural items, because people have their favorite anything, their favorite dog, their favorite bird, their favorite, what, a hippopotamus. But people have their favorites. And when they collect that, people like to buy them peacocks, right? Oh my gosh, Marsha loves peacocks. Oh, I bet she doesn't have a red peacock. So here we go. We've got this red, probably, I think I put peacock and, I don't know, bird. It may or may not have been, it looked like peacock. Anyway, so because it was so unusual and it was a bird and we went with it, $21 sold. Okay, then, hang on, let me get back out. There we go. I sold this. Now these I got in the bins, the Goodwill Outlet, where we buy stuff by the pound and pay by the pound. So I have recently sold some water filters that I got in the bins. These are Defiant brand. I think they're carbon monoxide detectors. No. Indoor plug-in timers. That's what they are. I think I was iffy about carbon monoxide detectors because that likes life or death. So if they're faulty, I get nervous about that. But these are timers, like you plug in your lamps to have them turn off at a certain time or whatever. Yeah, so I bought these at the bins. They maybe cost me $1 or $1.50 because it was $1.49 a pound. Maybe together they weighed a pound or so. But I was super happy that these sold. Let's see, I had them listed for $28 and they sold for the asking price, 28 bucks. Cool. Oh, and also that reminded me, I looked down here. So I don't charge, I don't do free shipping. So basically everything is the buyer paid shipping on top of what the sale is. Okay, the next step, this was featured in a video recently, but this little bronze Cocker Spaniel sold. Same reason for the jewelry, you know, with the bird, you know, figural items. People have their favorite. Oh my gosh, this just looks so much like my puppy Cookie. Oh my goodness, Cookie, I'll miss you. It looks exactly like Cookie. She was the sweetest little thing, except for when she peed on the carpet. Anyway, so that's the whole deal with figurines. If they're in good condition, they look well made, then. So this Cocker Spaniel sold for $44. Note, I have never had a dog named Cookie. So, acting. All right, next up, I had one sale on Etsy. I shared that this morning on Instagram. And I want to say, if you're following me on Instagram on Texas Gal Treasures, I'm not going to be sharing my full-length photos anymore. I can only share them on my other Instagram account now. But this I picked up at a Goodwill. I think it was when I was in Houston. I don't think I got it at the Goodwill here. But I did get a question on the thread when I was sharing this. The person wanted to know, like, well, what brand is this? You know, how did you know what the price is at? This is one of those things that there was no brand. I just saw it. I can show you. It's right here next to me because usually I ship things out first, but I had a feeling I might have questions about it. So it's like this big, and it was really pretty. And I just saw it and was like, wow, that's a really pretty vase. And so I got to looking at it, and it had the little, I know it's not called a fontanelle, but y'all know me, every time I call it a fontanelle. Pontil? Is that what it's called? The belly button, right? It had the little fontanelle on the bottom. So yeah, I didn't, and the reason that I priced it like I did, and I priced it at, I think, $120 something. Anyway, so it was just gorgeous. I couldn't find another one like it at all. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to take some really pretty pictures of this. I can see the air bubbles in there. It's just awesome. So yeah. And when you're looking at it in person, I guess because I have a dark background, you can't see the blues as much. But when I hold it up like that, you can. Okay. Gorgeous. Yeah, Pontel. Yeah. But Fontanelle's fun too. I know. All right. So this one sold for $122, and I bought it for $5 at the Goodwill. The reason I thought I might have questions was I figured someone was going to say, how are you going to ship that? So I'll talk to you about that in just a second. It's bigger in real life. Deborah says, yeah, it's pretty big. But when I saw that and I was like, $5, yeah, okay, I'll take a chance. If you change your mind, I don't know why that song came into my mind, but take a chance on me. Yeah, I took a chance. That's why. Okay, and then my last sale, which was on Bonanza. Every time I think I'm going to quit Bonanza, she's like, come here. Let me throw $100 your way. So again, Doctor Who Lego set, that's the second one this week that sold. This one sold for $116. So pretty good. My total gross sales, $576, probably after shipping. Well, shipping I don't pay. I mean, shipping is charged also, but after all the fees and everything, probably looking at about $420 something profit. So I'm pretty happy about that. So let me jump in the chat because I know we had some questions. And oh, okay, how much did they pay for shipping on the vase? You're asking. That's a good question. I'm gonna look back real fast. I believe it was $12, which is probably not going to cover it, but that's okay. I'm going to go with $12 because I'm pretty sure I set I do flat cost shipping on Etsy. Hang on, I feel bad going to search real fast in case things load slow, but I want to give you a correct answer to the question. Oh, $8. So it's $8. It's going to cost for sure more than $8 to ship this, but I figured I have a really good profit. I don't mind dipping a little bit into that for something like this. Like my Doctor Who Lego sets, again, I think I charge $8 shipping on those, and sometimes they're a little bit more just because. Okay, let's see, 'cause I know I saw a question about the pearl ring. Let me scoot back up to the top. Boop, 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 boop. I'm scrolling back down to see if there's any other questions before I hit the pearl one, but I want to make sure I address that. Well, that's going to have to wait. So, Auntie Christy says, are these the earrings I had clipped up higher in my ears? Yes, Leo. These are the ones that I was trying to use as my siren song to lure Liam Neeson. That's a video for another time. Okay. I'm trying to get back to the part where, okay, we're talking about Legos. I've never heard of, let alone seen a weeping angels. Yeah, the Doctor Who has the weeping angels in it. It's pretty cool. Okay, can you say pearl if it's not pearl? Good question. So here's what I did on my listing. I ran out of space. You can't see what I'm looking at. On my title, because eBay, you only get so many words, right? So I made sure, you know, I put pearl there, but I made sure in my description to say that it was faux pearl. And then whenever, you know, they fill in the item specifics for you on eBay, sometimes it'll say what the stone is, and it'll say pearl, or it'll fill in what you have in the title. I made sure that I didn't have pearl there. It says no stone. And I made sure that I had beads put in there. And then down here, I made sure that I put faux pearl silver tone ring, because also up here where in my title, I didn't have space to put silver tone, which is normally, I like to make sure I get those in the title, but I know that when people are searching, they're not going to be searching for faux pearl silver tone. They're going to be searching for pearl, silver. They might put baroque pearl. They might put iridescent or nacre. And that's like the shimmeriness of it. So those were going to be better for search, but I made sure that in my item specifics and in my description that it was clear that it wasn't, you know, a real pearl. A real pearl. Okay. So looking real fast. I hope that made sense. I think it, yeah, hope it did. So yeah, definitely. Because yeah, I would never want to get a sale under false pretenses, you know. Pardon. Okay. I know I saw some more questions. If you have any more questions, definitely pop them into the chat. Repoussé, we talked about that. Okay. So I can't always find the words in my brain, you know. So let's see. I'm going to talk to you about the vase in just a second again. It jumped. That's how I answered that one. Is Bonanza part of eBay? Yeah, and I don't know that it's part of eBay, but they pull your listing straight from eBay, so I don't even have to do anything. But when I get a sale, pardon me, it doesn't notify me on my phone. I only see it in my email, so it's really easy for me to forget because I don't check my emails all the time. They really pile up. What's my highest profit flip so far? That would have to be, both of them were cufflinks, and it was one was a pair of cufflinks I got for $1 at a thrift store that I ended up selling to the gold man for $400. And then the other one was also cufflinks. They were jade and gold cufflinks and a tie tack that I sold for $400 on Etsy. So men's accessories. Ladale says, wondering as a newbie, possible, do you have to start with 0 rating? Yeah. Will my current rating apply or start over for buying? Do you mean like, are you asking if you need to have 2 separate accounts for buying and selling? Or, I mean, it's a tough game getting started for sure, because getting those getting that positive feedback is important, definitely. People don't read. Well, it's true, but you know what? I know I put it in there, so I feel fine with that. How could you tell the pearl wasn't real? I rubbed it on my teeth, and it was smooth. I know there's other ways, and people always tell me, you don't do that. Do this other thing instead. That's what I do. It's quick, lets me know instantly whether I should look further. Yeah, it just slid across the teeth just like a bead. So, yeah. Okay. Jumped. It looked like her. Oh, yeah. It was like a, I don't know if it was ceramic or what. It was definitely cold at the touch, so it might have been coated. I'm not exactly sure. So, yeah. Oh, you just started selling your buyer rating. Is like what you would. Is it good? If it's good, go with it. That's what I would say. I know some people don't buy with their seller account, but I do generally. I'm not doing nefarious things, or trying to screw anybody over, so I don't have a problem with it. Not that I'm saying that anybody that does that. I know there's reasons that people have for having a separate account for buying and selling, but I go with it personally. Unless you have bad feedback as a buyer, then don't. Yeah. Yeah, one of the best ways to start selling is make an account, buy things with it. You get positive feedback from the seller, which gives you some initial credit. Yeah, it makes you look like you're not just like popping up onto eBay and like randomly selling stuff, and then you're gonna go away with the wind, right? They can see that you're a real person. Yeah, you can get feedback by selling small items too. Yeah. Kathleen's a tooth pearl person. It works, right? So, Rodrigo just applied for merch by Amazon 3 days ago. Is it still worth it? I say yes. I haven't put anything. Hang on, I'll pull up my merch right now. Merch by Amazon. I have not put anything up on merch in at least 6 months, but I still make money from merch. This is another. If you guys are like, what is this? What are you talking about? So one of the other ways that I make money, which is, I talked about eBay is one part. Well, I do print on demand is another part. So my print on demand, like I said, you make these shirts or you make these designs, you upload them to the site, and this is just merch by Amazon, but there's other ones as well. Hang on, let me see if I can share with you here. I have it on the wrong screen. Let me bring it. Hang on, I got to move it over so you can see it too. That's the whole point. Here, get on there. So yeah, you just upload the design, and then when the shirt sells, the shirt or the whatever it is that sells, then you get the profits from it. So right now, this month, I am at $192, and I haven't done anything. Like I haven't had to box anything up. I haven't had to answer questions from buyers or nothing. Amazon does it all. So yeah, I have it up. I have merch by Amazon. I have it on Printful. Good heavens, my phone's blowing up today. Printful and Etsy, and I think I have a couple things on Redbubble and Teespring. So yeah, I mean, because yeah, it's totally worth it. Once you're up there and your things are up, then they sell and they give you the money. So. And for me, I'm on like 100 or 200, probably by the end of the month, it'll be at least $200 or more for doing nothing right now. Totally. Completely front loaded. I mean, I worked my tail off, when I was doing it a lot more, getting myself onto a higher level and getting myself with a bunch of designs up there, so that when these kind of times hit, I don't have to like stress about that. Sure, if I was doing more on that, I could probably make a lot more too. I know tons of people that make a lot of money doing print on demand. But I'm a one-woman show, as I say, all the time. So, okay. Hang on. I'm looking to see if there were anything. I finally seem to. Possibly. Okay. I don't see any other questions. So let me talk about this vase real fast, about the shipping of it. So initially, I thought I knew how I was going to ship this, because I thought, okay, in my mind, it didn't seem like it was that, like the circumference wasn't that big, circumference, diameter. And so I like to use, well, that's not it. That's it. It's over here. I thought, okay, I'll use the shoebox, the Priority Mail shoebox. This is one of my faves for bigger things. I ship my accordion wall hooks in this, and I thought I'll Frankenbox it, right? I will take this box and cut it, you know, and tape it to fit. Yes, you can do that. But then when I pulled it out and looked at it, I was like, that's not going to cut it at all. Because as you can probably see, there's barely room on either side of this. And I haven't even bubble wrapped it yet. So that's not going to work. So my next option is I'm going to go look in my garage, because we've gotten boxes from Amazon or other places. And if that doesn't work, then I've got some of these large mailing boxes. And what I'm going to do, see, this one's definitely got more space, is that I'll Frankenbox this. And then like stack them and tape them to put it like that in there. And I'll probably cut some of the flaps totally off that are going to be in the middle of the box, just to cut down on the weight a little bit. However, I have a feeling it's not going to matter. So I am 100% positive it's going to cost more than $8 to ship this. But that's okay, because the profit was so good on that I don't have a problem with that. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to go look in my garage and see, because we've been getting packages from everywhere apparently. But otherwise, then that's what I'm going to do with the large priority boxes. I think. Looking over there, see if I have any in my room, but I think I'm gonna have to go down and get some from the garage or take a peek. Okay. Just purchased our first jewelry lot, but have sold you haven't sold a thing? Is that what you're saying? It takes a lot. Yeah, it takes longer. It's a waiting game for some pieces of jewelry. You gotta wait for the right buyer. I haven't checked FedEx, or I don't usually use other. I know that y'all will frequently tell me about different shipping services, but I guess this is what I know, and I just go with what I know. Plus, I'm not sure if I'd have to take it there. I'm not going, because I haven't been getting out. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Okay, I think that's probably it. I don't see any other questions. I feel like there was something else I was going to talk to you about, but I guess that's it. Okay, I hope that you have had a really great day and that you have a really great evening, and I will talk to you on the next one. See you later. Bye, everybody.